How's it going, everybody? We're going to get started in a minute here. Just want to try a couple of things here because I did a live on Sunday, this past Sunday, and I've had nothing but technical issues, so it seems, with my whether it's the computer or the Wi Fi. And I wanted to try a couple of things out because I did get some like another range extender for my basement here for the train room and my dare I call it a studio workspace. So hopefully the connection is a lot better. Hopefully it's a lot more smooth and I don't sound like a robot or anything like that. So, we just want to make those improvements, want to make sure that you guys are getting a better quality live, better quality show. And lives I do, like quite a few. I'm going to do some work today. I used to do a lot of shows on Wednesday, midday, just running trains or whatever, working on the layout. But I've got so many things on the go right now. And one of those things is the top level of my layout. And part of the top level of my layout is my ethanol plant. It's an ethanol plant. All the cylindrical hoppers I have, right? Well, I'm going to start weather and getting these buildings for that because they've been sitting in my back room, which is also like kind of like a workshop area. I did a lot of cutting of wood in there. I do a lot of spray painting because I got a little spray booth that I made. And this is one of those kits. This one I feel is in a good position where I can weather it now, as far as paint walls and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think. This is one part of it. There's another part which I left over there on the table because this is actually it's a two-part kit. So you get this one here, which by itself it's great, but there's another kit and it attaches here and it comes out, and then you've got all these tanks that go around this part. There's 4 tanks in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to have to glue all this to a foam board and make it one solid piece because if it's up on layout, if anything shakes and it starts moving around and it goes out of alignment and whatnot, it'll make a mess. So I'm going to glue it all to a platform and have it so that I can lift the whole thing off and take it off if I need to move, but it'll also keep the whole structure itself together. So before I do that, though, I do want to weather it. I want to do a few little pieces and whatnot on here. So we're going to work on that today. Before I get started, though, I know Wednesday afternoon, right? Wednesday day, people you see, people that did show up. Kyle, hey Kyle. Kyle gets a cookie for his birthday and for being the first person here. Kyle, happy birthday. Trackside Mike, always great to see you. Wigwag, how's it going? Ethan, how's it going, Ethan? And Brian Ferguson, how's it going, Mr. Ferguson? And there might be a few more. Lee, how's it going? And Sidetracks, how's it going? Okay, so we'll get started here. Now, as far as this kit goes, it was all molded in white plastic, except for most of these tanks and pieces like this, which is that grayish plastic. So the way I did this basically was I glued the entire frame, the outside of the building together. I spray painted it red. It's a very nice red. I like it anyways. Red's my favorite color. So I wanted to make sure that this kit not only looked cool, but it stood out from other kits. It's not prototypical from what I've seen. I don't think I've ever seen a red ethanol plant before, but Sorry. Went down the wrong air pipe. Okay. And then, yeah, like obviously I did white roof, and then I did this top part here black, and I used a really nice blue spray paint for the handrails. It's like a baby bluish almost. I thought that the blue complemented the red real nice, and it's lighter. So yeah, but yeah, this is like my color scheme that I like here. The whole red, black, and white. Um, it's my jam. And I did every building like exactly like this. So the building that comes off of this right here, same thing. Red walls. I did the oldish color concrete, so it's more of a tan concrete color for the bottom piece, which was done separately from the main part here. So I had to spray paint that first. You can kind of see on the bottom here. That's what the inside looks like. But yeah, you take the bottom piece, you piece all those flat pieces together, and then you glue the walls to it after you've painted it, and then you add on all the other little pieces. Cool. Hey, Mom and Sons, how's it going? And DK, Mr. Dwight Curley, how's it going? So first thing for here, I was gonna do one little detail thing that I did miss, and I need a container for that. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I know it's midweek, and a lot of people are probably at work. Today is my day off, so yeah, today's technically my Saturday. So I did just get a message from Mark, M&M Rails. Normally he has the third week for Third Rail Thursday, which is tomorrow night. Unfortunately, he is under the weather, and I'm going to do the live tomorrow night. So I'm going to do Third Rail Thursday tomorrow night to cover from Rails. So we'll be back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Now, will I be working on this, or will I be working on something else? That I don't know yet. I kind of want to show you some stuff that I've been working on the layout, and I feel like that might be something that I can do tomorrow. But I'm open to suggestions. If you guys want to see like trains running, or if you want me to do some work on the layout, let me know, because you guys are the ones who have to sit there and watch me, right? Okay, so I just wanted to do the tops of these two tanks in the red. And then I'm going to weather the rest of this building. Now, did you guys get to listen to the Around the Layout podcast from yesterday? It was either yesterday or Monday that it came out, where it was Tony Cook and Jim Wiggins from Athern, and they were talking a lot about the new Athern website, which I think is 10 times better than what the old website was. But they go into a lot of this to how the new website works and whatnot, how they're implementing a lot of things that make it easier to find what you're looking for. And, yeah. That's great. Hey, Perry, how's it going? Thanks for joining us today. I'm just gonna. Yesterday was around late. Okay. Sorry to hear that, Mom and Sons. Losing an animal, it's like I've been there. I've almost been there a couple of times. It's never easy. They become part of your family, and they're much more than a pet at that point, right? It's something I feel like most people can relate with, or relate to, I should say. Okay, so as far as weathering goes, I do want to add a bit of dirt, maybe around the bottom edge. And then I do want to add some light rusting around some of these tank toppers and maybe some running, some running rust, stuff like that. So I think I will start at the top and I will make my way downward. Dark rust. Let's start with some dark rust. Now these weathering powders, they're very similar to the ones that Mike from Trackside Mike uses. These are Monroe weathering powders. I got a set of 8, and it was about $50 from Otter Valley Railroad. I really like them. They work really well, and yeah, I use them on my locomotives, my buildings. A little bit of everything. Hey Lee, how's it going? Still yet to weather a locomotive. I'm still very unsure about that, as I'm sure most of you can understand. It's not something that you just jump into, unless you just jump into things like that. Me, not so much. I want to practice on a bunch of different things first before I try my hand at something as elusive as weathering a locomotive. Yeah, weathering is it's fun. I don't do it all the time, probably because I've got so many different projects on the go. But it's something that I do enjoy doing. So goes hand in hand with building these kits and doing the other 50 things we do. Now I did use like a silver spray on most of this metal, but what I did first was I painted it black, and then I did a misting of silver so that it doesn't look like it's all shiny. So now when I'm doing the weathering over top of it, yeah, some of it'll look like it's... Well, here, I'll show you, because I'm kind of doing that right now. So you can kind of see up here where, if you can see that, I'm not sure if you can. So the silver there, obviously it doesn't appear to be too shiny, but when you put the dark rust around it, and I will add some light rust as well, but yeah, it just makes it appear a little bit more like used. And I'll apply this not super thick, but again, it's just a powder, so you just lightly powder it on there. And then I'll come back and I'll do some lighter highlights with the light rust. Okay, so I will do a bit of a heavier rust right around the top of these tanks because they are like, there could be water that collects up there and kind of sits stagnant in certain areas here. And yeah, it'll probably run down, but some areas where it sits, that's where the water is going to almost eat away at it, and it'll become rusted at that point. When I go to do one of my tanks here, which I'm going to show you, I'm going to do something that I saw online. I saw a trick where you tape up certain areas and it makes it look really neat. Like it's coming out of the seams of the weld seams, which I think will be really cool. I'll probably be able to do a very similar thing over here on these, but I won't be able to tape those up because I can't get the tape right around. And yeah, all this is glued to the base, so I won't be removing that anytime soon. But I'll show you this here. This is kind of what I'm talking about. If we look at these tanks, so you see how there's the lines, right? And there's the welds right along here. There's several, they're almost like ribs. So I take some of my powder and I will go around, but like below the rib, almost like a straight line right across, right around, and then I fade it down like that, and it almost looks like it's rusting downward because rust goes downward, right? So it's just, again, it's almost like you're highlighting each of those, but it's rusting it at the same point. So now typically these will be more on the cleaner side, but I do want to add that bit of realism. So I'm going to obviously do vents, do all the vents, with some black coming around or out of it. Maybe some of these cracks here were not as welded tightly. And I'm just doing a super light on this side here. You can kind of see. I know that light is making like a a reflective stripe going right down there, but that doesn't matter. You can still kind of see. Also, I did do a dull coat over this. I know the red still kind of seems very bright. That's just the color bright or color red it is. Cool. Okay, so now before I start doing the roof, I do want to go over these areas here that I've already done with the light rust. Thanks, Mike. Your cars look really good. When you did the trash cars, some top-notch work. Man, are they dirty. Have a good one, Kyle. Safe travels. Okay, so the light rust will show up a little bit more, and I don't want to do too much. Clean some of this up. That fell as well. And I'm basically just going over the same areas that I've already done, but I'm adding a little bit of a brighter rust color to certain crevices, just so that it appears some areas are a little brighter or a little bit more rusty. I like the bright rust. It gives it a really nice effect. Yeah, the taller ones. There's these much taller ones. I believe those ones are the stainless steel. That's why I'm keeping like the light rust on this side, like to a minimum. But yeah, definitely with those larger tanks, I'm going to be very mindful of the weather. It's not too much, it's just a little bit. And then I obviously want to do a bit of weathering on the roof as well. Okay. So that's good. I think I'm going to do what I will do is I'm going to do a bit of the dirt around the outside edge because I don't touch the sides at all. So I'm going to do the outside perimeter now, and then I'll do the roof last, I think. This is just going to be some dirt kick up, not anything too crazy. from trucks going by, stuff like that. Also, I'll be able to weather the concrete here a little bit too, because there's some concrete padding here, so I'm going to add a bit of weather to that. It's hard to almost see it because of the red, but should be all right. That's kind of shitty. Gotta fix that one spot because it looks. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't go all the way up or anything like that, right? Just want to make sure that the area is not flat. You know, I don't want it to look like a very bland. I need Perry to show me how to do a locomotive. That's what I need. It's really good work. Yeah, why does it just look so... I know it's probably the lighting, but... Get my switch. Where did my smudges go? Does that look better? Okay, yeah. It's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Okay. Yeah, it looks better. Do I need to... I think I should probably. Okay, next wall. Hopefully the stream looks okay and sounds okay. I did make some adjustments since my last live there, so hopefully it's better now. kind of a cruddy day outside too. It was snowing earlier, but the the snow is nowhere near staying on the ground. It's just because we had a few days there where it was super nice. It was like plus 30, you know, like real go outside just to sweat kind of kind of weather. I got my backyard set up and whatnot, even though it's, you know, mid April. Typically, it's something that I do just before or around the May 2 for. But it's been so nice. Like this past week, I know it's kind of like a, what do they call it, the Fool's Summer or something, or the Fool's Spring, where it's like, oh, it's so nice out, and then it's like, ah, gotcha. And then the following week, and it's like, nope. Turns out it's still cold. So that's always fun and misleading. But plenty to do inside. And that's why I'm doing this and I'm not outside. Now, I would also like to add lights to a lot of these kits. You know, you put like the little gooseneck above the doors in certain areas, like in this crevice here where it's like it's really dark, right? So you put one over top of the door there. You know, you could really light this thing up, but I don't have any of those lights yet or right now, so I'm not too worried about it. And it's something that I can add later, where I just have to drill a hole, fish the wire through, glue it in place, and then, you know, drop the wires below the bench work, right? So again, not overly concerned, but it's something that I can do in the future. I just really want to get the buildings more or less finalized for what they are right now, and then go from there. And there's a lot of them. This took a while to find all these ethanol kits, thanks to Bubs and M&M Rails for finding most of these for me. I found a couple myself online as well, like on eBay. So I had to order them. I think they were in the States. One of the sellers was Train. This was from trains.com or something like that. Yeah. And I didn't feel like I had to pay an arm and a leg for them either, even though they're like, what, 10 years out of production? So not too shabby, right? That's the main point of the story here. Not too shabby. Most of that is behind the building, so I'm just going to do a bit on the pad here, the concrete pad. In and around. You know, just something so it's not so flat. Now, also, I didn't do a layout update video for April because I am in the middle of working on a lot of different little projects here just to try to get certain things done. So I will be sure to do one for May just to show you guys what I've been working on overall. Okay, so I went around this thing. I added some dirt to the doors, the walls halfway up. Again, nothing too crazy. I do want to go back over certain little places here with the black powder. Where is it? Grimy black. There we go. Because there are a couple of vents, and I just want to have a little bit of that. Now, I did add some of the dirt coming out of the vent. This is probably going to be even lighter. I want this to be subtle, super subtle. The vent itself. So kind of look a little bit like that. You can kind of see it's darker in person. This light is really just killing the color on that. But yeah, it's actually pretty dark. Then there was another vent over on this side. What you're going to do now. Thanks, Brian. I like to think that I'm making improvements, it's tough sometimes. You see a lot of other people's live streams and whatnot, and you're like, they must have an amazing computer or something. Which is probably the case. If you've got a really good computer, then you could probably do a lot with that thing. But I know firsthand that my computer is like not amazing. It's just a Windows computer, right? Okay. Are you going to put interiors inside and lights? So you can't see inside this thing. So lighting up the inside, not worth it. Interior to this, not worth it. There's no windows on this thing whatsoever. Just the doors. Just doors. But I was saying, I don't know if I answered you already in regards to that, but little doors like this one here, right? Like you want to put a little gooseneck over top of that, right? Even this section right here where there's like a walkway and stairs, putting a little gooseneck lamp over top of that door to light up that area there, it will add so much detail. Obviously, when it's on and it's darker, which is fine, right? Because if it's too bright, you won't see those lights anyways. Same thing with this section here. put a little gooseneck lamp over top of the garage door. It'll light up that whole thing there. You can do a little scene right here. Maybe a truck pulls up or something, you know, stuff like that, which I will do in the future. But for this right now, I don't have any of those lamps or anything on me, so I won't be able to add the lighting yet. Okay. So now the only thing that's left here is doing the roof, which I'm not crazy about doing. Going to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to this because this is going to be a huge prominent section that will either look okay or it will not look okay. So here goes nothing. Maybe a bit of medium earth. I could do dark earth, but it's because it's white, right? Like white paint, earth color, dirt. I want my fan brush. I think this very like this. Have you messed around with wood kits at all? And if so, what do you think of them? I've only ever done one wood kit ever. And it wasn't even, I mean, yes, it's a kit because you put it together. But is it much of a kit? No. I've got a little module here I can show you if you'd like. I did this. See that right there? So there's a little mini Prince trailer, right? And when you buy the mini Prince trailer, you get a little veranda or a deck. It's a little wood deck, and the deck was made by ITLA. And you basically you buy one, you get the deck included. Whoop. And I built the deck, and I had a pretty good time with it. Painting it's kind of weird. Painting the wood. Yeah, it doesn't work the same way as plastic, unfortunately. Where I feel like it absorbed most of that paint. Although I didn't do a thick paint job with it because I didn't know. I've never done wood kits before at that point, so I didn't want to mess around too much with it. But I feel it turned out okay. It looks like a deck, and as they say, if it barks like a dog, be a dog, right? However, I've wanted to try other kits like wood kits and stuff like that. So maybe in the future I will try doing some wood kits. So we'll see. Okay, the fan brush works really, really well for something like this, and I'll just show. Yeah, there's a couple of bigger streaks here that seem to be more prominent and darker, but they really. I can go back and I can just. Again, nothing too crazy. Yeah, Wigwag builds a lot of wood kits. He's the wood kit guy. I prefer the plastics because it's what I've always done. I don't have a preference though. If they make a really good kit in the wood etching or whatever, and I need it, then I will get it. In fact, I think that might be the case for this cool train station that I found with elevated platforms. Because I think it's a wood kit. Hey, James, how's it going? The laser etched wood brick sheets are really nice. I plan on scratch building some modern structures with them soon. Cool. Well, that's really neat. It's always fun to see different ways to do things like that, Like, I'm so accustomed to doing plastic kits that, like, I feel like I'm stuck in my ways, right? Where, yeah, there's other forms of kits you can do, and it's like, well, I don't know. Do I do some wood kits? Can I mix them? Can I mix a wood kit and a plastic kit? Does that seem weird? Like, if I was doing like an old-timey kind of farmhouse, like, I feel like a wood kit would be like perfect for that, opposed to a plastic kit that you're trying to make look like a wooden, structure. To me, in my mind, like, that makes sense. But doing, let's say, like a metal factory, but it's a wood kit, I don't know. That just, it doesn't sit well in my mind. If it makes sense, I might just be crazy or whatever, but to me, that's how I see it. Hey, John, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So this dark rust has more of a red tone to it, opposed to the light rust, which has more of an orange feel. And whoop, I just got some on the table. Well, isn't that something? I'm going to have to give this table a whole wipe down. Again, I'm just making my way around here. I'll start with a larger section like this, and then I'll move to this section and then do the little one. Some of the other roof pieces are a lot easier, where it's just your basic triangle roof. This one's really weird. And it was weird, obviously, putting it together as well. But, obviously you get it done, right? So okay, so I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out here. Right, we got the we dirtied the walls. We did a bit of a mess on the tanks there. Did the walkways. Didn't really dirty up the railings at all, though. I feel like maybe I should do something about that. Um, hmm. Problem is that they're so small. You don't want to break it, you know. Also, they have that nice blue color, but I guess nothing stays a nice blue color forever. Okay, yeah, we'll weather it up a bit. This won't hurt it. one last railing here. Of course, you want to do like a light seal coat on this, just to make sure that everything is going to stay where it's, where you want it to stay. Yeah, I think it's good. Well, as good as it's going to get, right? I think the way that it looks on camera versus the way that it looks in person, I think it looks better in person than it does on the camera. But that's just me looking at the side-by-side comparison, right? There we go. Okay. So I'm happy with that. Yeah. Turned out good. I did add a bit more darkness on this side here, just coming down. Tanks are like whatever. Roof looks better than what I thought it was going to look. So it's supposed to be, metal roof, but I painted it white. And then, of course, there's little aspects to it that add the dirt and a few other things. I'm going to do a massive clean of this table after this. Okay, so these are the walkways. And I'm okay with them being silver, but I need to make a blue paint for these railings because they should be blue to match the other. So I'm going to try my best to replicate that, but well, we'll see what happens. Thanks, Wigwag. Now that's not bad as far as colors go. There's just not a lot of it in here. So hopefully there's enough where I can do these handrails. It's off by a smidge. I don't know if you'll be able to tell or not, especially when I weather them, right? But we'll see what happens. So this walkway here, there's 4 walkways in total that I need to do, and I think 2 of them are this length and 2 are a little bit shorter. But basically, for the 4 tanks, they have a little walkway system that goes from the top of each tank to the next, and that's where these walkways go. So once I glue the tanks themselves to the foam core board, I will be able to glue these all to the tops of the tanks to connect them all. Again, another one of those things where it's like, unless you attach them right to the layout so that they do not move, like they will shift, they will fall, and you'll be fixing this every 5 minutes every time you bump the layout or something happens. So making sure that this stuff is glued in place and set. And you don't want to lose these pieces either, right? Because then your kit is not technically complete. Oh yeah, no, yeah. YouTube is great for getting lots of ideas. Not just ideas, but also, like different types of inspiration. In some cases, for some, it might be motivation, to do certain projects or get going on something. Others, it might be like, well, I see so and so running a train, and that makes me just, want to run a train as well. There's different versions of that, and I think that YouTube plays a big part in helping everybody, with that. Nobody ever just wakes up one day and says, I'm going to post a video online of me running a train. It's always, I saw so and so doing this and it really motivated me and it made me want to do it. And yeah. Okay, now if I can get this off my finger without getting paint on myself. Well, I got paint on myself. Let me do a little one now. James, did you build your layout yet? Come on, James. Motivation. I think the two big benchwork guys that I'm looking forward to seeing build their layouts would be Wigwag and James, because they're very, they have a good history in woodworking. So I'm really excited for that. Also, if you like to build kits and you want to join our group kit, which starts the very last day of the month, April 30th, we're starting a new kit. All you got to do is pick up a Walther's Cornerstone 130 foot 2-bay whatchamacallit, a 2-bay engine stall, engine shed, something like that, because that's our next build. And that's going to go for a majority of May. That'll be our May build. We did one back in January. That was fun. It was a much smaller kit. It was only a Walther's Hobby Shop kit. But I think for the most part, everybody still had fun with that. Yeah, James is a carpenter by trade. Troublemaker by day, carpenter by night. Even doing these lives, I find, is a lot of motivation for me to just get stuff done. To do this, hang out with you guys, and sharing that. And my cat gets to sleep over in her chair. Nobody bothers her. Everybody wins. I even have this thing here. Now, I only put on one side because I want to be able to paint all the railings on the inside. But yeah, there's this as well. This has to be painted. So that, and then there's some other piping stuff. More piping stuff. The base for that thing that I just showed you. The other side of the stair set, that also has to be painted. These go on the top of those tanks. So I need to glue those and then paint them. This thing, I'm not sure where this thing goes. I keep all my instruction booklets for good reason, but yeah, there's this too. Where do you go? It probably goes like this, and then those pipes probably go into it like this. Yeah, it probably does something like this or like this, and then that goes somewhere. Well, that'll be fun once I figure that out. Also, if anybody's ever building a kit and for some reason you don't have an instruction booklet for it, or your dog eats it for some reason, just a hypothetical. I don't really wish that on anybody, but things happen, right? Check with me, because I've done a lot of different Walthers kits over the years, and I always keep the instruction booklets. I don't mind scanning it and sending you a copy, or photocopying it and mailing you a copy of it just so you have it. It's probably a lot quicker than trying to get in contact with Walthers directly, but who knows? I might have done the kit that you're working on. You never have instructions with your builds? As in, you don't use instructions? Or you're just on the unlucky side where whenever you buy a kit, they never include instructions? Because I've had kits before, like I've gotten kits where it was missing like full sprues, and I'm like, well, that's no good. I need all those parts. But then I've also gotten kits where I'm like, okay, I have way more parts than what this thing even asks for. So a little bit of A, a little bit of B. I don't think I've ever had missing instructions, but I do know that things happen, right? It's the way it is sometimes. You can't really fight it. You 3D print everything. Okay, well, no instruction booklet for that, except for the instruction booklet that comes with the 3D printer. But I don't have any of those. Yeah, there's a lot of kits that are just very it's very straightforward, as far as this goes here, as I call it. Because I'll be going through and I'll be like, okay, well, this goes here. There's some kits that I have where I've done several times. Like I've done one kit multiple times, and I don't need the instructions either. Like this is the second time that I've built the full ethanol series. I think my first one, Brian from Inked Rails has it. I sold him my entire ethanol kit first time around. I don't know if he kept it or if he's using it. I know he has big plans for a layout in the future, so he might be holding on to it for then. But yeah, so I built the full kit and then I ended up giving it away. And then I'm like, nope, I need it again. So then I had to go through that mess of trying to find it. Also, if anybody needs any of these kits, I can find you more. I know where they all are. There's a shop up here in Canada that has quite a few of these kits still. At least I think they're still there. They had quite a few when I went there last. Athens said they won't be doing a version of the P42. They have taken off the website. I pre-order and sent out why they won't be making that version and why. So I'm sure they won't tell you the real reason why, but yeah, I asked them on their live last night why it was removed from literally every shop website. And they said that they didn't get the rights to it, to use the poppy. However, did they bother to go to Athern in the first place and say, hey, or did Athern bother to go to the Legion and say, hey, we would like to make this locomotive. Is that okay? Because if you go and you ask permission, it's a lot better than doing it and then being all like, oops, guess we didn't ask for permission. So there's that. But yeah, it's definitely based off of copyright for sure. The Legion, the Canadian Legion, owns the rights to that logo. Now, it would be cool if they did a different locomotive in its place, like a different paint scheme. And they could always do the 150 years, which is the one with all the Toronto cities. Or not Toronto, Canadian cities on it. Which I think would be cool personally, because Kato did that in N scale, but it wasn't done in HO. Rapido did the F40 with that paint, but it's also on a whatchamacallit, P42. Well, the main thing is that they should have gotten the copyright, or the rights to do that before they even said, hey, we're doing this. I mean, to me, it just makes sense. It's why that Every Child Matters locomotive, they had posted the picture of it, and then they took it down real quick. because I'm pretty sure they did not get the rights to do that. And that's why it's been real silent about it ever since. Did you guys hear about the Via Rail charger that's on its way from the States up to Canada? Apparently, it already has graffiti on it. Somebody had tagged it when it was still, I believe, down in the States there. So the first thing I did was I call up Tim and I'm like, Tim, what'd you do? No, it wasn't Tim. These things were annoying to build. Every single one of these little plates here, you have to cut them out of a giant sprue, clean them, and then you have to make one ring at a time, combine the rings, and yeah, it's it's super annoying. Obviously takes up a lot of time, right, doing those, but yeah, it's all part of it, I guess, right? Oh, there's Brian. Hey, Brian, how's it going? Brian, you have my old ethanol kit, right? My because we were talking about like, cause some kits I've done several times already. I didn't know if you still had my first ethanol kit. Graffiti is on the cab car. Oof. Probably Athern, Anthony, most likely. Although sometimes it does take them a while. They'll announce it and they'll be like, there you go. also depends on what locomotive gets the scheme. Do you know which locomotive will be painted first? Because that can go in many different directions as well. Try building a 1/35th scale tank with individual link treads, like 1,000 links that have to be joined together. Oof. Do they all move? Like, does the tread thing move? It almost sounds like a watch. You know how like watches are individually like linked together sometimes, like to make the band. Hey, John. So, for those of you who are just joining, and for those who didn't hear near the beginning, so tomorrow night, which is Third Rail Thursday, tomorrow night, normally the third week of the month is Mark, who's M&M Rails, but he's under the weather. We're wishing him a speedy recovery. And he said that I can do Third Rail Thursday tomorrow. So I'll cover for him, and we'll be wishing him speedy recovery. And of course, we'll be doing stuff that is train related. Now, if there is something in particular that you do want to see tomorrow, make sure you leave a note in the comments there. If you want me to run trains live, if you want me to work on the layout, just, any ideas for what you guys want to see, because I'm open to many different things. If you want me to take a car, weather it, and all that stuff, I can do that too. Yeah, open to many different things. There was a little bit of dust on the top of this thing, so I'm just going to get that off quick. And I think I want to glue those little things to the tops so I do not lose them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to grab that other piece so I know which way the tanks go. Here's the weirdest building you're going to see all day. Ta-da! Weirdest building ever. Yeah, goes obviously with the tanks going around it, right? Which is the big one? So this, I believe, is the big one. That one or this one? Nope, it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to set this up real quick as though we're doing this thing. So you can kind of see where things would get bridged together a little bit here. Okay. So as far as I know, this would be acceptable for what I need to do. Where is that other? So this thing here, which I'm like, I don't know what this is for. So this probably goes like this. And then this goes like this. Whoop. Most likely. So that's kind of cool. I'm not going to glue that now, but I know it goes there. So the main thing that I wanted to do here Yep. I have a piece of foam board already. It's over here. And basically, this building here attaches to this one here that I was working on previously, this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint and weather them first. And then I'm going to mount them all onto one board. So right now I'm just adding this little detail piece to the top here that I did not add previously. And because the top of that is painted, I'm using my super strong Instacure, which is good for models that have paint on them. So if you're doing paint to paint or plastic to paint, this will hold really well. I believe these are called fermentation tanks, I want to say. Overall, like, such a nice kit series, and I really wish, not necessarily for me because I have them all, but for anybody else who is a fan of ethanol, I really wish Walthers would put this, series out again, because it is such a nice one. They redid the steel mill series a couple of years back or so. I can't remember how long ago that was. Probably a couple of years ago. And so this year, but still an amazing kit. It's just trying to find all the pieces now. It's really, really difficult. And if you're a fan of hoppers, like cylindrical hoppers and tank cars, which is what you would need, then this is an industry that would be perfect for you. Yeah, I didn't want to do your normal, ethanol plant. I wanted to paint it colors to suit what I'm gonna do, which is the whole red, black, and white with a little bit of blue in there. I'm sure there's a lot more tanks that are like that bright, shiny aluminum silver, kind of like that. Well, maybe brighter than that. The old ones that I did were the white walls with a green roof, kind of like the picture, which I thought was neat, but I definitely wanted to do something different. You know, the whole your layout, your rules kind of. Yeah, like this is old tooling. As far as the amount of runs of this series that they did, I'm pretty sure they only did it once. That means the tooling was only done once, and that was a long time ago. That was, geez, when it first came out, I want to say 8 years ago, maybe more. I know we had this discussion a while back, but I'm pretty sure the tooling might be 11 years old. And that new factory, the chocolate factory that they just announced, they took one of the kits from the ethanol plant and turned it into a Hershey or a chocolate factory. So the tooling does still exist. It's still probably usable. 2010. So 13 years ago, almost 14 years, and they've only done one run. Mind you, they probably did a lot of kits, and like I said, you can still find them. They're in circulation, but it's tough to get all of them. And you guys are going to see a majority of them on the channel here, right? Like there's the tanks. This is just one kit. This one here is like the one that I was weathering earlier. This is another kit, but in order to use this kit, you need that kit. So this acts as one kit. But this extra stuff, the stuff that I'm adding, so these little things here, this walkway, this goes on the back here and connects to this, just like that. I know you can't really see that because of where the camera's pointing, so I'm just going to tilt that a little bit. Whoop, there we go. So see this thing here goes right up to here so that you can climb up the stairs and then you're up here and then you go tank to tank checking. Is it necessary? Probably not. You don't really need this. But it also does come with the other pipe as well so that you can attach it to here and then that attaches to the tank. There's, obviously that's one kit, 2, 3, and then the other kits that are still in my back shop there. They are built and painted, except for I've got a big tank that I haven't even touched yet. Yeah, and then you got the berms around it. If you get several of those, you can, you can make almost like a tank farm. I even changed the name of the ethanol plant. So with my old one, it's supposed to be North American Ethanol, which is great. But I changed it to Great Canadian Ethanol. And I think that having this, red and white like this kind of suits the Great Canadian vibe, if you will, of the ethanol plant. So I'll probably do something similar again with that. Yeah. And then GP9s that are coming out. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet, but those GP9s are going to be my switchers for the whole industry, which I'm really excited for because they look and sound amazing. And I'm going to have them switching out all the ethanol cars, the tank cars, the cylindricals, and they're going to be prominently for this industry. So you're not going to see them, in many other places on the layout. I wouldn't run mainline with those. But so far, I think I'm about 5 tracks. I'm going to have 5 tracks that are going to feed several parts of this industry, and I'm super excited. There's so much to do with it, and yeah, I've got lots to go. Yeah, the GP9 with the slug, but I'm probably going to get 2 GP9s just because it looks better when you have a GP9 on both ends like this with the slug in the middle, a little back and forth action. Maybe a belt pack guy. I don't know. I might get a belt pack guy, but then I feel like he'd have to move around a lot. So I could always put him on the locomotive, but we'll see what happens. I just got to weather this guy here, but I'm gonna save that for another day because I've been 2 hours now. Yeah, 11:30 to 1:30. I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I'm going to continue on with the rest of my day. And we'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00, Third Rail Thursday. This is what I did earlier, in case you missed. I did the roof, I did the tanks, I did the side of the building. I just weathered it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, like I said. Yeah, let's get this ethanol kit built. Let's get it ready to go, and we're gonna start building the top part of my layout because that has been so untouched for for a while. I have started building on the top level, and I have to switch out there's a track there just to make a double main in a certain area, or to make the passing siding longer, I guess you could say. And then yeah, then I'm good to go with raising more of land. I already raised some of the land there because it's got to be a good 4 inches up, which is where this is all going to sit. And you're going to see more of that really soon. So watch for the layout update early next month when I show you everything I've been working on this past month. Because, yeah, I've been busy. Got to keep going. And if you like Canadian trains and you like sharing the hobby, well, you've definitely come to the right place. So let's talk again soon. You guys have a good rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow night. And I got a train to catch. So